Yes! Woo! Woo!
This is for the jar. What's that chick from Iowa name?
Clark, baby. Caitlin.
Clark!
And
Kobe.
Just doesn't have the same.
we didn't even make it 20 seconds into it.
Just doesn't have
And
the same.
you already lost it.
I said, what's that chick's name from Iowa?
Yeah, then you shot your shot,
I said Clark.
missed it, and what'd you say?
Dang.
I honestly didn't hear him say anything,
Yeah.
so we'll have to check the tape, dude.
Oh, the
check
tape,
the tape.
tape doesn't lie, son.
Tail of the tape, dude.
I already know what it says.
I feel like this guy's, hired to get
I don't
us.
even know how many times we got to talk about this.
I didn't even cuss.
Jelly roll.
I didn't even cuss, but there's a 20 bill right there. So that'll put us up to 143.
We're rich.
We haven't made our
Rick
first
James.
month payment.
Yes.
What are you boys selling to make that cash, son? We better start selling something out here.
Feet finder, dude. I'm getting it on.
It'll come back.
On it, dude.
we should have a competition. Whose feet makes more? We should battle our feet.
Bring out the eczema.
We were at work the other day, and this guy was talking. We're going through the sort and whatnot, and this guy's talking about, yeah, man, it's so weird. Some guy's on the internet selling videos of his feet with ranch dressing, and he's talking about this stuff, and everybody's kind of looking around like, how do you know that he's doing that? Like,
Eric's over getting hard.
You subscribe? Like, you subscribe, bro? Like, what are you doing?
How deep down that hole did you actually dive? It's disgusting. I can't look anymore.
comes across my feed.
That's not ranch. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And then I was like, so are you a subscriber? And he's like, I'm out of here. And he walked off. And went to
He wouldn't even
he
say
just left,
anything.
dude. He just walked off.
Got called out.
It's probably him, and that's how you market dumb shit. You just,
Oh,
you just
there we go.
There we go.
There's
There's two.
227.
There's two.
Yeah.
You got another 40 points or $40 you better be throwing in that bad boy.
It's $10.
All right. Well,
That's the first cuss word.
that's the second.
Why is it always me?
We got to check the tape for the first
We
one.
don't have to.
We
I'm telling you,
video
I heard
replay
it.
We got a video
well, that's why I
replay.
threw a 20
We're
spot.
a minute in, bud.
That's why
and you're down 20 bones.
We're at 240. He was at 227.
A minute between his cuss and second cuss. Oh my God.
The
It's already started
algorithm
off.
hates us, bro. The algorithm hates us.
Because he keeps effing it up. Okay?
Good job.
You like
right
that?
there. I
You like that
dude.
save?
was-
Way to keep
that
it
was
Sesame
classy,
Street.
You're
dude. That
right,
was
baby.
classy.
You know how hard that was for me, by the way?
Super hard, bro.
Oh my God, like me right now. Get the tape. Where's the tail of the tape on that
can't
one?
help it.
2 inches. Estoy Movie Quinto.
If you build it, they will come.
Well, it's built, baby. This house is made of bricks.
I don't want a bunch of
This
bots.
guy's tent is ready.
They call me the native.
Oh my God.
Teepee.
I've been reading our comments, responding. We have 4, but
They're all me.
kept me up all night. How do I respond to this? No, one of them was don't talk bad about fucking
3.
what was that game? Borderlands. That was the game.
We actually have comments?
Yeah. It's like, don't you dare talk bad about
We
Borderlands.
talked about the game Borderlands.
It was, I think, on me and you.
Oh, that was
Our
a minute ago.
podcast. Yeah. So I was up last night watching our episodes, and I was like, you know how they
sucks.
they put the fucking little
4.
they put the little you got a notification red dot at the top of the bell. So I
Right.
clicked it, and I was like, oh, there's actually comments. So I went in and I was reading the comments, which was like 2 or 3 or whatever. But then I went back to watch the episode, like what they were talking about. I was like, oh yeah, Borderlands sucks.
It ain't good.
It does suck.
I wonder if, like we were talking about this earlier today, like, so, which Fallout series actually made people go out and buy the game.
Is that what it was?
It's pretty good, dude.
Dude, it's great.
It's awesome.
It's
So
great.
it's a series.
yeah, on
yeah.
Amazon.
So we'll double back to that. But so that when that series came out, it made people go, "Oh, I want to try this game." They went and bought it. When the Halo series came out, nobody bought Halo. Like nobody was diving back into that game. But
secretly nobody plays Halo. Nobody
Well,
cares
here's
about
the thing.
Halo.
I have it. I play it still.
the adaptation of the Halo series from the video game
Do you really?
was actually like the best adaptation for a video game series you could watch. And then Fallout came out and just crapped all over it, dude. It was so good.
Fallout is a
cleaned it up
horrible
again.
game, though. Like,
No,
what
it's
are you
not,
talking
dude. That
about?
game is amazing.
Any game made by Bethesda or whatever they're called.
You can't even say the name. What is
dumb.
it?
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Those they suck. Like, no,
What are you talking about?
Fallout's a dumb game.
Tell me, okay, what other game do they make?
They made that space one where you play as like a captain guy, and spoiler if you haven't played it, he ends up dying as the main character. But it's like,
wow, this sounds like
it was
Star
like
Wars.
no, me, you, and MJ used to play it because you could play it online. And it was like deep.
You played with Michael Jackson? What
Not deep space. Maybe it was Deep Space or something like that. It was like
Deep Space Nine.
No, it was one of their
Dead Space.
It was not Dead Space. It was one of their most popular games. Like, just start naming off.
I can tell you the most popular game they have. One of them.
The name it.
Fallout.
Nah, it's not that one.
What do you mean no?
No.
You're stuck playing these child games. The men are here playing
did
real
they do
games.
Skyrim?
By the way, Borderlands sucks. So let's go to
Did they protect the border?
They have
Elder Scrolls,
Skyrim, Fallout, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, Daggerfall.
all these great games.
Keep going.
Shining all over Bethesda.
They're all boring games. Keep going though.
Boring.
Their best one is the space one, but I can't think of it.
Hide the Pickle 9.
They have Starfield, which is their new one.
Which I wasn't a fan of that one. It was kind of boring. I'll give you that one. That one's in line with Borderlands. Like, meh.
I mean, it's just like a game. It's like how you were saying how you don't like Helldivers, which is the /1 game.
I've never played it. I just said I don't like
going on
again
because you
stop twisting my words.
Because you have an opinion on what you claim.
Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Fallout, and Daggerfall. Those are really their main games.
Money.
You have an opinion that Helldivers is a wave-based game, which is fine
because it is.
Because you
dude.
You watched a couple YouTube shorts. Like, where are you getting this info from?
It's a wave-based game.
BD or Bethesda actually fucking money and bought all their games.
Write it down.
All their games, and they all suck. They're all the same game. They just take the same game and remap it. Like, instead of being Fallout, now we're going to Skyrim. See, I'm doing Skyrim.
You better get your checkbook out, by the way.
It's pretty awesome that what he just highlighted is that they're the same game and they redid it. I watched this little 3-minute clip and it was showing Disney shows and when they did their animation and it's all the same thing. They just changed the scenery. Like Winnie the Pooh, Jungle Book, all those things.
That's crazy.
It was the exact same animation. They just changed what the character was like.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Dude, it was so funny. I was like, I was actually kind of disappointed.
Before we get too sidetracked from this, because I actually wrote this down to bring it up today, but the Fallout series is amazing.
Oh,
it is so good.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind the series. I thought it was a game because
it is a game.
The reason I thought it was a game is because I thought all the streamers that I watch, like to pass time, when I'm out there playing World of Warcraft, I thought they were all going to play. I thought they were all going to play this Fallout game now instead of playing like StarCraft, where I could, or like stuff that I like to watch people what they consistently play. The new game pops up and it's like, oh, it's Fallout. It's like, oh my God,
dude, Fallout. Okay. Stop it. Fallout's amazing. But the series is awesome. It's so good. It's the best video game adaptation for a live TV action show that you can make.
I'll watch it. Like, guys.
So the video game shows that I've seen so far, 3 that really stick out. Halo, which was awesome.
It was.
The second season was great.
Way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Witcher.
Fallout was fantastic. Witcher, and then it was HBO one. It had the one guy in it that played he plays the Mandalorian.
Oh, The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Again, amazing too. So they're getting better, man. They're really starting to hit it home with these adaptations of video games.
Well, I think they've realized that people love
nerds watch more TV than most people.
Video games.
Yeah.
And when you're gonna do some type of series or TV show or movie that people can watch of their favorite video game stuff, look at that latest Mario movie that came out, the animated one. That was fantastic.
It was good.
I took my kids to the theater. We watched it. Oh, dude, it was awesome. It's on. Is it on? It's on Netflix.
Nets.
It's on one of those. I've watched it 5 times, dude. It's fantastic.
No, it is a good one.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's the thing. With video games that you need, it's you either need to have a really good story or you have to have a really good re-evolving gameplay. And if you can combine both of those, graphics doesn't matter. We grew up with what
16-bit,
2-bit. Then when 64 came out,
Oh my god, dude,
64 bit,
life changing.
it's like, oh my god,
GoldenEye, Mario.
Even though you play those games now,
we
they
don't
suck,
care.
but they were so
Like,
good at the time.
Yeah, it was like we had to play a game where like all the kids now, because my kids on it with like Roblox and stuff, everything's instant gratification. There's no story to any of these games, and they can just go download, or they can just go download the next one on Roblox and play. Where back in the day, like, dude, I had to wait till like Christmas to get a new game.
Bro.
So that's why Final Fantasy VII was 3 discs long, and it's like you're out there playing for fucking 6 months. Damn.
We're at 10:45.
Oh, okay.
You're in the clear there.
We're good.
You only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Okay, I put a 20 spot down, so I gotta put. I owe. 30,
that was from last week.
I owe 30.
That was from last week.
I owe $30. Okay.
Now you owe 50
doll
for
hairs.
next week.
$30 hairs.
Well, I can't wait till they do an actual adaptation of Final Fantasy. Like that'll be great. It'll be like Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like they could really do some crazy stuff with that. Or not StarCraft. They made 4 of them. It's a space thing too. I cannot think of it.
StarCraft?
It's probably the one you're thinking of. No. MJ was a big fan of it.
I think you're on to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was single player.
Yeah.
Like the third one you
And
can
the
play
third
with.
one you play with the
Yeah,
Chuck.
yeah.
Hey, he's coming back full
Yeah,
circle.
see, I see what you're talking about. Mass Effect.
That's
There
what
we
it's
go.
called. Mass Effect is made
Or
by
do something like that. I mean,
But Bethesda doesn't
damn,
make
they can
Mass
open
Effect?
up so much
I don't
shit.
think so. That wasn't one of their.
I don't think
things that
Bethesda
saw.
did that one.
I thought it was them because it's the same style. Like you go and you build your character, you go and you talk to people, just like Fallout.
All
like,
story driven though, with like choices of yes, no, and then that was the first one of the first, not one of the first, but one of the like highlighted first games where at the end of the game, if you didn't make the right decisions, all your characters die. You're like, no, and then they make the second one like, well, you can't play that character because he died in the first one. Like shit.
The best game ever made.
Microsoft Game Studios. It's an EA game.
EA did it.
EA did it. Yep.
Dang, that is a good one though.
Now you say dang.
Yeah, we're past it. Dang.
Dang.
Oh my God.
Gosh darn
Slap
it.
me silly.
Gosh darn it, G. Willikers.
Bullflaw ears and a big saggy nose. How dare you?
To be honest, like, so the best video game ever made was World of Warcraft, and the best video game, the best video
Nerd.
the best video movie made off a video game was World of Warcraft because
Negative.
They didn't make a World of Warcraft movie. They made a Warcraft movie, and it was terrible.
Thank you.
Well,
I just watched it again
horrible.
like 2 weeks ago. And
yeah,
it
I was gonna rewatch it too because I watched it in theaters
Don't.
and I was like,
Save your time.
Then I rewatched it.
I'll
I was
charge
like,
you
okay,
for admission,
I
son.
get what's going on, but like honestly, like okay, so there are people out there that I don't know if they have no lives or they're just smarter than we are, but they took every cinematic of WoW since it was made to now, so you could follow the story. Like whether it's like a 30-second long cinematic or a 10-minute long cinematic, and you put it all together, and the whole compilation is like 3 hours long or whatever. You can find it on YouTube. It's like, damn, like if you made this a movie right now, that's crazy. Now, if we get away from WoW and we go to another one of their games called StarCraft, which is like a main
Awesome.
like, RTS game. The big premise is like you have this badass Marine named Raynor, right? And you're out there fucking slaying bugs, and you're basically become a mercenary because you get
I wonder why like that stupid game you're playing right now.
You get
Helldivers. It's the same fucking game.
you get tired. Well, you're killing Zerg because
Waves.
the Terran. Well, we won't get into the lore of the thing, but anyway. The guy gets tired of like being Marine and he becomes a mercenary, but his
Never
boo
get tired of being a Marine.
his boo is called Nova,
Simplify.
and she's fucking she's hot, everything you would want for a girl if you
For a video game. Yeah. 16-bit character. It gets me hard.
and
16-bit hard.
So
It's a hentai over here.
so she had to go on. She's a ghost, and the ghosts are like the Green Berets or like the people that go in before everybody else. Like they're very stealthy, but they just call them ghosts, because they honestly have stealth. She goes in. She goes in on this mission, and Raynor is like, nah, you shouldn't do it. And he's providing backup for her, and he's making sure the battle cruisers and the generals know, like, hey, I want her out of here. Like, we need to get her out. This is stupid to send her in there. And they send her in, and she does her mission, and she gets she gets surrounded by all the Zerg, like the fucking bug.
Didn't you just say this whole story took like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Go.
Calm down.
No, keep going.
And she's calling for help, and Raynor's like, "Hey, getting the battle cruisers on the line. Like, give her air support. Let's go. Let's get her out of there." And they're like, "Nah, we did our mission. She's just a casualty of war. Well, she doesn't end up dying. The Zerg make her queen. And then Raynor has to go in and like kill his boo that is the queen of
This
the
is
fucking
a typical
alien race.
story of every
It's
movie
fucking-
and book ever
like that.
written.
That is like everybody's like, this would be the greatest movie of all time. Like this is fucking perfect. Like it was basically like
It
Game of
was.
Thrones.
They did
Like,
it in Game of Thrones. Exactly. Yeah.
Where do you
dude,
think
what
they get the
talking-
ideas from though? Like this is where it
All
comes from.
ideas repeat themselves. That's why they're so good.
Yeah.
It just captures and encapsulates a different audience every time. Younger things like they'll do it with he, they, shim, she, shay, shoo, shoo, blah, blah, what it a decimal point 212. Like it'll just repeat itself. It's a constant battle.
That's what can make a game good though. Is as nerdy as it is, and how much South Park makes fun of it. Like if it has a really crazy story, like everybody makes fun of Star Wars. Like you're
Shut
even
your
if
mouth.
even if
You better
you're a
watch out.
Star
This guy will
Wars
stab
You
you
better
and
watch
save
it.
you.
even if you're a Star Wars fan,
Buddy.
like you're still going in there like, please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up, kind of thing. Like, and I was like, and for me, I'm biased against Star Wars. I don't see like where people get upset. I can see where that like if you don't realize that maybe it was like a kids movie and then they bring in Jar Jar Binks and everybody got upset with
Ruined
that.
it.
It's like, well, maybe it's because it's a kids movie to begin with and he didn't adapt to the realization that people
Shut your pie hole.
grew up, but like it still had a cool
These are Jar Jar
premise.
Binks.
It had a cool premise to
Stop
to bring. I like the idea of the metachlorine thing, that it was like
Right.
not a religion anymore, and it was actually like an organism that, because you know, if you don't believe in the religious shit, then you're gonna be like, I'm not gonna follow Star Wars. But then you realize like, oh, it's actually bacteria that gives you powers, and then I could see like people having
I had an
division.
STD one time. I had no powers.
Zero.
0 powers. My light force was drained, buddy.
But neither does a clownfish until it gets in that fucking seaweed, and then it has all the power in the world. You know what I'm
Smoking that
saying?
weed. Yep.
Symbiotic organisms. That's what we are. That's what it. I don't
Well,
know.
I think
But I
that's-
don't follow the lore of StarCraft or Star Wars,
Well,
except for Darth
even going
Maul.
back. Okay, so doubling back down to like since you're talking Star Wars, like the Mandalorian compared to like the Halo series, like the Mandalorian was great because he didn't take his helmet off till what into second season, third season, somewhere in there, right? Well, in the first fucking epi, you see your Master Chief take his fucking
And
helmet
you
off.
never saw his face.
Never. And then so
Was it The Rock?
instantly the lore is now kind of gone of who the Master Chief is. And then through the next 2 seasons, you see him with no suit. He doesn't have a suit. He's running around looking shredded as fuck. You know, fucking Pablo Schreiber, hashtag not a sponsor.
Played The
is
Last
killing
of Us
it.
too. Yeah.
You know, and his brother, fucking Liev Schreiber, played fucking Sabretooth. Like and also that show that was on
Say
HBO,
her name.
on
You
HBO.
raped her. You murdered her. Say her name. He was the Viper in Game
Yeah,
of Thrones. Yeah.
yeah.
Got his fucking head smashed.
No. That's a different guy.
No, it's the same guy.
You're talking.
No. You're
talking
Pablo
Mandalorian.
Pascal.
He's
Pascal.
Yeah, he's talking.
Pablo Pascal played the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but he's
No, I'm talking
He's talking
Master Chief.
Master Chief.
Oh, okay, my bad. I
No,
thought-
so
okay,
you know
yeah.
you know who Liev Schreiber is, right?
Yeah.
His younger brother Pablo
Oh, okay,
Schreiber.
I got you.
Yeah, same name, not same actor. How dare
but
you?
that's the thing
You
is
fucking
Halo-
build the wall, right, Joe?
Halo has a very good story, but it's very bad gameplay.
But my point is, they
sorry,
showed
I'm
his
sorry, it
face.
just did.
They showed his face in the first or second epi.
It was like the first or second.
Yeah,
It was way
and
too
then
early.
instantly his helmet's off all the time. Where the Mandalorian lore was.
I think that was like maybe an
You
Easter
didn't
egg
take
to
it off.
everybody. Like, hey.
However,
here it is,
how the
boys.
show goes, it builds around now what that's where the series are different between the Mandalorian and Halo is they built around the character who plays Master Chief, not the lore of Master Chief. If that makes sense. Which I mean, you're gonna have to kind of do that. I think they should at least
They-
left the
they
helmet
left-
on for
They left,
half the
three
season.
or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
like you just like, who is this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
they left it open though.
They didn't leave it.
Well,
open.
no,
I
they
would
closed
say-
it. They closed
Oh,
that book
did
first.
they?
Fucking yeah,
Is it?
his helmet's off, dude. You're like, oh, that's who played.
Well, I
that's
meant they
Master
left
Chief?
it open for the lore part of like, hey, let's get this Master Chief thing out of the way. We'll come back to him later, kind of thing. Like, I haven't seen the series yet, but the same reason I haven't watched I've watched episodes of The Witcher because my wife,
God, it's great.
my wife is
Very
into
good.
what's that guy's name?
Henry Cavill,
Yeah, who is it?
Superman.
Cavill.
But now that he's out and Chris Liam's in, people are like, it's not gonna be the same.
Chris
show.
Lamb?
Is it Chris? Like it's Thor's brother, isn't it? Chris?
Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth. Yeah. That's what it's.
Chris Liam.
I don't.
Chris
You're fucking putting both their first names together for a fucking name.
He made him a couple. He made him a couple.
Yeah, I don't
Which
know
it might be good, but
it might be, but
I won't.
if I was the guy, I would
I'll
start
give it
over.
a shot to see.
If I was the guy, I would start over. I would not leave off where Henry Cavill left off. I'd be like, it's a whole new series. Like it's just gonna be
something
a new
totally
Witcher.
different.
It's gonna be
I
another
think
Witcher.
that's what they're doing.
That's
right?
like it's gonna follow like another lore of Witcher. Like you kind of know what the Witcher does. He kills fucking monsters. Okay, well, let's follow that, but like let's make it like it's like when Lion King made, or when Disney made Lion King. It's like, okay, let's make a movie that's Disney appropriate that displays Hamlet, and let's have it do lions. They can do the same thing with The Witcher. Like, okay, we know how The Witcher lore works. Like, let's just do it in another setting and another thing that nobody's experienced yet and nobody's written about. But we have writers. We can put this together and we can make up a story where people actually want to watch it, you know. And it doesn't have to follow the main story of him in the game or whatever. But now we got a new Witcher that's out here in another hemisphere or whatever, or maybe another world or universe.
Well, the only bad part about that is it's the same character. It's the same Witcher. It's not a different Witcher. You know.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna put him right back.
Geralt of
Rivia, and that's why they ruined it. Geralt of Rivia, like that's why they'll ruin it, because Henry is Geralt.
Yeah,
like he is.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
you can't replace.
He did
him.
such a good job.
No,
He did
you
good.
can't replace him
because he's a nerd. That dude's into Warhammer. He's into The Witcher. Like he knew he was built. He worked out to play that role.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those things. Like you can't, if you have a show that's wildly successful, you can't replace your lead and have somebody else come in and take over that role.
Well,
like you're saying, cool. We see other Witchers in the Witcher show, right? Now you have a different Witcher that's
Right.
a different name that does different things, and you can pump up his lore and make him awesome, but you can't make him Geralt.
That's the thing. Is like, why not take him like Liam and stick him in a different Witcher realm, and he does that for like 2 or 3 seasons, and then you can bring Henry back to play Gerald.
Okay.
Geralt.
So Geralt. Some
Geraldine
some people accent.
We're doing it all to
Some
each
people
other.
accent the L. Some people accent the T.
Cavill.
It's either Geralt or Geralt.
Whatever it is. But and then you can bring them together, because ultimately why he left was to go play the Superman, and then
they bagged that
and then
one.
they bagged that fucking thing. So now he's out a role.
Okay, so
Why not just make it something else?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, just take a time out. That's it. Not saying it's done, but you can just be like, all right, you're gonna do Superman for 2 years. We're going to spin this off, do a spin off real quick, leave everybody on a cliffhangers, make them love the new character, and then you bring them back.
Yeah,
Instead of saying, we gotta replace
and then you
them.
mash them together.
Exactly.
And their stories cross.
And then you're
it's like,
fucking-
cool.
you're
Yeah.
going.
Gold.
because
Yeah.
she made me watch it, I'm making her watch it. You're gonna fucking watch Chris. He's gonna play this fucking thing.
Chris,
he might even be
you mean
better.
Liam?
Liam, whatever the fuck his name is.
Thor!
But that's the thing.
Thor!
That's the thing too. Is like I told my wife, she's like, "Why don't you like Harry Potter? Why won't you watch Game of Thrones?" Okay,
Sucks.
so the only reason I watched
What
Game
did
of
you
Thrones,
just say?
You heard me.
the only reason I watched Game of Thrones,
I'm not trying to get a court case out here watching kids running around and playing on sticks.
I didn't realize like the books weren't complete. Like I knew like the dude had books out, but he only had it up to season 5.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, season 6 out? He didn't write a book, so nobody knows what's going on right now. So you can't fucking ruin or spoil this shit. It's like, okay, perfect. To me, when people watch like Harry Potter and fucking Game of
Nuts
Thrones,
drop right there.
or or like any other thing, like even when it comes to video games, like The Last of Us, which I just had to watch because it was a great game and I just want to see how they did it. I knew what was gonna happen, but it was like it would be like, hey, the NFL is giving us the script. Here's who wins the Super Bowl. Do you guys still want to watch? If you knew, that's what I'm saying. Like we already know what's going on. Like I don't want to know. Like, I don't care to see the cinematic. Like, that's what the book's there for. That's why it's this fucking thick to describe, like, what Gandalf is doing and how he's pulling sorcery shit and doing all this stuff and blah, 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 and describing everything. Because when you ever go watch a movie like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, but like Lord of the Rings with somebody, they're always like, that's not how the book was. That's not what it was like in the book.
Yeah, and those people are
Like, I don't
fucking
give
annoying.
a fuck, bro. I've never read the book for
Right.
this reason, because they're making a movie. Like, why would I want to do the hard shit
Now,
when I can watch the real shit? But I will give it up to The Last of Us, it followed the game to a T. Like,
Well,
every
they
fucking
deviated from it in some portions.
a little bit, because like, I mean, a game they did with Bill.
Yeah,
They made
gay shit.
They made Bill like a gay guy, but he is gay in the game.
Yeah,
he
but
said he had a partner.
They
and
allude to it.
You can read a note that says his partner, that he buried him in a thing and blah, blah, blah. And he talks about it. And because my son's playing it right now, who's 12, teen. No, but he's killing it right now. And he made it up to Bill. And I was like, all right, this is and I told him not to skip this. Like, I need to listen to this part because this is very controversial from the show. Plus, they had the best guy to play him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
To play
ultimately,
Bill.
like, even that whole scene and what was going on in the show, it was fucking good, man. It was.
No, it was.
Gay or not, though, like,
they portrayed it more as like this is a couple of loving each other and working through their things, and then they gave you the whole backstory compared to just being like, let's just throw it in your face. Like, here you go,
Yeah.
accept it.
Gay,
it was like,
gay
okay,
or not, though, like,
you
imagine
felt something for it.
if he was straight and that was a hot chick that, you know, that fell into his fucking hole. Like, love
When
does.
he fall into her hole?
He well, he in the show, the guy falls into a trap. And
Right. I know.
But it's like, that's where like this guy has been preparing. That's what it is about. Like the guy's been preparing himself for the end of the world forever. Once this news broke, and he had all this stuff set up, he's like the most successful guy, and the only thing that defeats him, which defeats a lot of people throughout history, is
Emotions.
emotions and love. Because
Be a murderer.
and it's a weird thing because it's a man on man love where we're all used to like the fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Bruce Willis type thing. Like, here's the hot chick, we save her at the end of the day, the chick lives kind of thing. But the chick doesn't live in this series, and the guy ends up like killing himself kind of thing because he couldn't save the one thing that he cared about the most. And it put a perspective where you had to take a guy that you would think, because of what that guy is known for in other shows, to be like, wow. Because I was like, wait a minute. Because I skipped through the series when I was playing the game. I was like, wait, what? Was he gay in the game? They didn't fuck this up and make this guy gay. Went back and played through it. Sure as shit. He is.
I mean, he was in the game, but there's not the whole story. And so that
True,
like,
but
it's
a different setting, but he's still like the
that's
same
just
badass.
the Hollywood
Like,
adaptation of like, we got to have the token homo and the gay
that's what I
story.
thought at first.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at first,
And that-
but it was already in the game to begin with. And I was like, okay.
It was in the game, but not to that extent, right? They let you know he's gay and that's it.
True,
moved
but
on.
they didn't really show anything other than that you knew they were gay.
Well,
and
that's the
they
buildup,
They had dinner,
right? Like,
they had
if you're gonna
dinner
make
together.
something out of it, you gotta fucking build it
You
up.
could figure like, okay, like if it was the hot chick that fell in the thing, you're like, all right, we need to show her your titties sometime out here. But like with him, it was like it's all about like trying to be like still like,
Come play my piano.
are you still trustworthy kind of thing? Like, what is because Bill was always like offset. Like, I know I have feelings for you, which is weird, but I also don't trust you at the same time, which is weird.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. Like, I love, like, the Harry Potter books were fantastic. Love them. Read them a million times. Watched the movies even more.
Yeah.
There were certain things that they
Goblet of Fire is my favorite one.
fudged, here and
You
there.
just told me you didn't fucking read it or watch it.
I only watch it.
Yeah, so they fudged things here and there throughout the books, but it comes down to, like, with George R.R. Martin of Game of Thrones and J.K. Rowling of Harry Potter, they were very closely involved, and they're like, no, you're not going to adapt my book to film if I don't have a massive say in how you do this, because you're not going
Hashtag George Lucas.
yeah, you're not going to change things dramatically from what I wrote to what you put on film.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you said, is like George R.R. Martin didn't have the books done. So
dude, yeah.
He had a big say in, like, this is how it's going to end, because he knew how it was going to end. He just hadn't written the books yet. And so he told them, like, this is how I want to end. But
HBO came in and was like, sorry, dude, the book's not done.
So was this like Game of
we gotta
Thrones?
go.
Like-
yeah, it was Game of Thrones, yeah.
Oh, you're
then
talking
they-
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so
and then they wrote their own shit.
yeah, so they did that, and they kind of shit the bed on
They did, dude. They ruined the whole fucking series.
Yeah, the series was fantastic, and that 8th season was just gobbledygook. Yep. And so, it sucks,
Stop
but
at 7.
it
Spoiler.
is what it is. But, like, with the Harry Potter stuff, great books.
Right.
Movies,
Yeah,
the movies were fantastic. There were a few things in a couple of the movies that I was like, oh my God, why would you change such stupid things that were such glaring things that it's like, why would you even do that? Like there was no need for that. And so it was just dumb stuff. But books to movies, like there's a lot of them that have been fantastic. You know, like Jurassic Park, that was a book before it was a movie, and it was fantastic.
True.
It was, and it was different how they obviously how they did it versus the book to the movie, but it was still a great thing.
Yeah.
But now they're coming in with games to movies, like,
And that's a little bit hard.
I would say Resident Evil was probably the first one, right? Maybe I can't think of a game.
It wasn't the first one, but it was probably the first best one.
And that's a hard thing to do, game to movie, because a lot of games, especially early games, don't have a lot of there's not a lot of like, you know, like cinematic movie play. It's just like it was like a 2D game where you're running in a straight line.
Well, it depends on the, like, for instance, if we're going to use RE, the story's so rich, like in that game itself, that's what makes the game fun. But when you make an adaptation, I keeps using that fucking word. When you make the fucking film for that goddamn game, can be done right, but they also didn't follow the same storyline, which is kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Like they took the premise of what the first and second game were, kinda, and then they went around with their things. Compared to like the newest RE movie, which actually took the premise of what happened in Raccoon City. And so you only hear about kind of Raccoon City, what's going on. In the first movie, you get to the mansion, and the mansion takes you down to the hive, and so on and so forth. For the movie, it was like, okay, that's kind of cool to see, but they really didn't play on it. They used a couple of excerpts from the game, like with the dog coming, and shit kicks the dog, you know. It's like, oh, that happened in the thing. And then she's wearing the red dress like Ada was, but she wasn't Ada, so it was like a homage to her wearing the dress. But then in the new movie, they actually bring up Ada, and she's there. It's like, okay. So they fucked around with that premise of the game in the movie and took like pieces and parts, and then it just took off. They
morphed it into something else.
They meshed it together, and then and now it's its own thing. Compared to like, what's the one The Rock played in?
Jumanji.
No. You're on Mars. You got fucking critters. Doom. And a lot of people fucking hate that movie. I loved it.
That was a great
I fucking
movie.
thought it was great.
Great movie.
It couldn't be any better.
Even he hated it. I was like, nah,
like
dude.
Doom over the top. That's
But
Doom.
that's the thing is like,
you know?
okay, so like that's what I'm saying is like
they're making a fucking Legend of Zelda movie.
That's what I was gonna say. They haven't done that
I was
yet.
just gonna bring up like
That's gonna be
which-
awesome.
I didn't know they were making a Legend of Zelda movie, but like,
Fuck yeah, that's gonna be sweet.
Out of all the Zelda games, which one should they make the movie of? And
I hope they do their own thing.
And to me,
Yeah, I think
exactly what we're talking about right now is like, do your own thing, but follow the lore. Bring in shit that makes sense.
bring in
don't-
Zelda.
like,
Do Zelda. Do
you
Link,
gotta have
do
the fucking whistle.
Ganon,
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the
Ganondorf.
thing is like the Legend of Zelda. Like the
allude
first
to-
one came
allude
out.
to other
we were
bosses.
6,
Yeah.
4. Like I never played the first one.
The golden
I
one.
know, I've played
the
it,
one
but
on
I played the
NES?
second one when
No, on regular Nintendo.
on Nintendo
Yeah,
when
the-
we were
the
like
gold
8
shell.
maybe. But the most Legend of Zelda game I remember, like I played the second one, but was Ocarina of Time. Like that's the first one
Ocarina of Time was awesome. Majora's Mask was fantastic. Twilight Princess, like Zelda's had some fantastic games.
I haven't played.
I think they have to do their own thing
I
and
haven't
just
played
pull
any
pieces
since.
from it.
I haven't played any since the first NES, the gold disc one, and mine was broken. I couldn't save. But so when I went to school, I had to leave my TV and console on the whole fucking time, and then come back and play. Because if I turned it off, I had to start all over. And then I was basically ended up fucking speedrunning the thing where I figured out where everything was at and had to try to do it in this certain amount of time, but you can't do it in that time because it's not that type of game. You actually have to like farm and build up stuff to beat the last boss, to find the magic sword. You're touching on all these graves to find like, and if you touch the wrong grave, a ghost comes out. So you're touching like hundreds of graves to find this thing. It was horrible experience, but a fun game. But I don't know the lore of Zelda as much as I do like the lore of like World of Warcraft, which is hilarious because when you play that game, you're just clicking through shit. Like you're just playing, like trying to level and get to the good shit. Like you don't care. And then when you actually sit down and watch a video where people explain like, this is what it is. And like, this is how it's all created. And you're like, holy shit. Not only did they have like the best game, they had the best story ever.
So
written.
ultimately,
like, how is this not a goddamn movie?
we
Like,
spent-
what the fuck?
The first 40 minutes of this fucking podcast talking about how we can come back to the person that said Borderlands is good, and we can say Borderlands sucks.
It does, because it doesn't have
I'm
a
looking at
story.
you, kid. So write something different besides the little fucking 2-inch comment.
Do you want me to tell you who it was?
It was probably fucking you.
No.
Who?
You know who it was. He came up to you when we were playing pickleball. He saw your picture and was like, "Hey, how you guys doing? I thought I saw your thing." And
Train guy?
Train guy? I don't know if it's a train guy, but he wouldn't be on the podcast. You know who he is. He came up.
He didn't want to come on the podcast.
Yeah, because he was afraid what he would say.
Yeah, train guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah,
what I'm
we'll
talking
leave it
about?
there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
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 Yeah, he's the one. I was like,
Shout out to you, train guy.
train guy.
He's going to be like, God damn it. This is the reason why I want to come on the podcast. But no one said names.
That's
So-
what we say. We talk shit. You
With-
don't like it, talk shit back.
With that, you wanted to know The Legend of Zelda was released in 1986.
Woo!
So
1 year after I was born.
yeah, and so the reason that Ocarina of Time was probably the first game that you played, it came out in 98.
Well, it wasn't the first one I played. It's the most memorable one
Yeah.
I played.
So Ocarina of Time was that, and then the next one was Majora's Mask. So
Right.
they had two bangers right in a row.
Ocarina of Time was the 64 one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and
So that was
then
Majora's.
and
I heard the first one with the Wii that came out was competing.
That
to
one
beat
was
that
fucking sick, dude.
dude, that one was awesome.
There's a
beat
part in
Ocarina
that
of
game,
Time.
and I've said
Was
it in
it
the
sick
podcast
because
before.
of the story or sick because of like the gameplay?
Well, both. And I know I've said this on an earlier podcast, but when MJ and I were living in Seattle, we were high as shit. And there's a part where
remember
you
that.
do like a jousting on like a horse, and you're going against a dude that's riding some kind of like warthog, some kind of fucking hog,
Some
wart
steed that
thing,
looks like a
whatever.
hog.
Yeah,
Steed hog.
and you end up getting jousted off the bridge, and you fall into the water. And on my way down, I did the fucking double take, like getting ready to hit the water. You know, like
Twilight
because you
Princess was the
Twilight
one.
Princess.
You fall so far. Yeah.
But dude, it was the first time I bought a $1,300 TV at 18, 19 years old, which was way too much money. It was the first LED fucking high def TV you can get. It's 37 inches. Still have it to this day, and it still works. But dude, we were high as shit. And as soon as I got fucking jousted off that, dude, double take on the way down, trying to catch my breath because I was so immersed. I was so immersed in the game because you're using the joysticks, the joust and block, dude. It was fucking. We did it right for that game, dude. It was fun.
I will say the best single player game ever made that I've played and might stand true is Red Dead 2. By far, in my opinion. That game,
Red Dead 1 was good though too, son.
just the detail that Red Dead 2 put into everything.
But that's the thing though, is like the detail was in 1. Take out the graphics, like it's the same shit. It was great.
No, but the story is sad as fuck too.
So was the first one.
Like, I'm not gonna spoil it if like guys haven't played
Dude,
it.
it's been
How
out
have
for a
they not
minute.
played it? It's been out for like 10 years.
That's like saying like
Well,
spoiler alert, Sex in the City.
Have you guys played it though? I meant for
Yeah.
you guys. Have
Yeah.
you guys played it? Okay,
Of course,
like,
dude.
where a guy gets TB and like dies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking like holy fuck.
Tits to butt
You
happens.
did all this cool shit and this is what takes you out. Like that's my fear in life. Like
Hi, Arthur.
like I'm gonna do all like you do all this shit and like this little organism that's like, you know, it doesn't matter like how big you are or what you know. Like there's this thing that's smaller than you. It's like
Hey, dude.
fuck
Syphilis.
You, fuck
Got
you, bro.
Hitler.
I'm taking you out. Like how do I build
It's
this?
like the Oregon Trail, dude.
Yeah, right.
Died of cholera.
that fucking game.
You got
Give me
bit
some
by a
fresh
rattle-
water.
You got bit by a rattlesnake. You
Dude,
died.
Bye.
I have that card game too, and there are 2 rattlesnakes in the card. And it's instant. It's instant death if you draw. It's like
All right,
you're gone.
let's fucking let's switch notes here because we video gamed hard, but I mean it was good shit.
Well, you guys brought
let's-
up shitty Fallout, so we had to.
Oh
No,
boy,
it was
we-
a great.
it was
It was
great,
a great
dude.
first season.
I haven't even
dude.
finished it. I'm on
I'll
episode
watch it.
5.
And with that, like with the Fallout series, I like Walt Goggins, dude. He
Dude,
is fantastic.
He fucking kills it.
He is awesome.
And the broad that plays like Perry Winkler, whatever her fucking name is, Perry something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Ella Perry,
I'll
whatever.
watch it. I'll
She
definitely
is
watch
smoking
it.
hot.
I'm just glad.
And shout out, she's got nudes on there, boys. Check her out.
I'm just glad it wasn't a game. I was like, thank God.
Dude,
don't mind it
it's
being a
great.
series.
It's great. You're
Yeah,
missing
it's
out.
fantastic.
It's so awesome.
You know what? I'll be honest. I never actually really played the games, but in college, 2 of my best buds played that game all the time. So when we'd be drinking and smoking and hanging out, they'd be playing that. So I watched them play it all the time, looking at their little wristband. and
Pip
stuff.
Boy?
Yeah. So I actually like watching the series. I was like, oh God, I remember that. That was cool. Like it was fantastic.
Yep.
It really was.
I was trying to explain to the wife that like for like an adaptation, it is so on the tee. Like every small thing they do, and since I watched the first episode twice, I'm like, oh my, I miss things. I'm like, oh my God, just the detail they put back into it. It is the video game, hands down, 100%. And I was like, this is fucking great.
And then when
the
you
gore and shit, and dude, it is so good.
And when you see like the knights for the first time, like
Brotherhood of
it was
Steel,
like, wow, dude, like oh my God,
and it doesn't look cheap.
I'll check it out. Like,
dude, it's really good.
Yeah, Amazon knocked it out of the park.
Fuck yeah,
I remember seeing
100%.
I remember seeing it on Amazon because I was watching this movie I never seen before with Denzel and fucking Robert Redford, the Civil War movie. I was like, fuck, I've never seen that movie.
That's a great one.
So I was looking for that, but I saw like the Fallout 76. I was like, God damn it, the fucking game's
76 is a game.
The game's on here, but they said 76.
Just Fallout.
Oh. Well, whatever it is. So I was like, so that makes sense that you guys brought up. Oh, it's a series on Amazon. Okay, I'll watch it.
Really good.
That makes sense why I'm not seeing it with people streaming it right now. It's like,
that's just the game. I played the shit out of that.
Because people were talking about it. It was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, I'm always the last to know. Like, dude, I didn't figure out what 420 meant until I was in college. And then it still annoys me. Like, why do you have to, like, have a fucking thing for 420? Like, what? Why not? Why that? Like,
why not? Everybody has their fucking day.
There it is, the saying 420. Where did that come from? I want to know. Where did 420 come from?
I'm almost positive that is like the radio code when they call in for police. Like it's a 420. And it
for
was like
weed?
For marijuana. It's the same thing as like a 187. Like 187 was like
murder.
187 is murder.
The case that gave me,
the only reason I know 187 is murder is because it's a movie with Samuel Jackson and he's a teacher and they murder him at the end. They call it 187. So it's 420.
Speaking of,
you think it's that? What do you think 420 came from?
It's the code.
You think it's the code?
Yeah, it's the 420.
I think it's that's the.
But you're talking about murder. Let's talk about who we lost this week, boys. The Juice.
Yeah,
he wasn't murdered.
No, but he's a murderer. He's got a 187. I was acquitted, motherfucker.
Proven
if the
innocent.
glove does not fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, he was not.
Give me a glove right now. I can show you how not to put your hand into a glove.
He was not convicted as a murderer, so calm down.
Yeah, who do you think did it? His son?
I don't know, bro. I was what? It was in 93, 94, bro. You guys were listening to Kurt Cobain and shit. I was out there playing Tetris on fucking Game Boy. Like, I didn't give a fuck.
Dude, I was watching that Bronco go down the fucking freeway is what I was doing.
Everybody was.
Cruising.
Dude, I was living in North Carolina. I remember that shit. I was like, what the fuck are you guys watching? Like,
okay, so what it says is there was a group of teenagers in San Rafael High School in Marion County, and they would ritualistically smoke marijuana at 420
there you
each
go.
day.
So you're both wrong.
Each day at 420, so their code for it was 420. So they would say 420, and then everybody would know that they would go smoke pot.
Now it makes you not want to be a part. Say it anymore, right? It's not as cool.
Why?
I think it's stupid. I thought it was dumb when I first.
You don't even
it.
smoke pot though.
No, but if I did, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
Like, why would I do it at 420? Never mind. Like, I understand the code. Like, I get it. But
he's like, I understand now.
It's dumb, in my opinion.
If you're high right now, you'd be like, oh, that's fucking cool, bro.
That's cool.
That's fucking awesome. Thanks, man.
Dude.
Yeah, who you guys are like, that's what the police call it.
Is that what that means?
I got to agree to bust at 420. We're gonna get high as fuck. Let's go.
You know, but getting back to what you were saying about the OJ thing, I saw an interview that happened, and I can't remember who did the interview, but it was with one of the jurors. And this lady, no shit, literally said, like, yeah, we all knew he was guilty, but we let him off anyways. They're like 90% of this lady that was a juror literally said 90% of us thought he was guilty, but we let him off because of Rodney King. Because Rodney King had just happened.
That's what they made of the race war.
Yeah. Thing. And so they literally were like, yeah.
So you're telling me we said do murder at the perfect time.
So it was just
we just didn't want our streets rioted anymore and shit.
So they literally, it was like, well, it's a now we're even, motherfuckers.
Yeah. I got you, boo.
That white bitch took one for the team, you know.
Her and her white boyfriend.
Fucking excuse me. EC and I know a guy whose pops was a fucking goddamn cop down there when those riots were going on.
Yep.
The Watts riots.
I mean, I guess everybody knows him. Shout out to Rosie Brown, baby.
Yeah, Inglewood.
Yeah.
He was a cop down in Inglewood. He was a cool dude. He did a lot of dope things in his life.
I wish I would have met him.
Yeah, dude was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I used to live in Inglewood.
Actor, fucking philanthropist,
football player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super stud.
Super. Yeah, thank you. I was just gonna say the same fucking thing. So yeah, shout out to fucking Rosie Brown, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's a good dude. What else I got here? I had some. Whoa, hey! You put the fucking thing on my side.
Dude,
Hey.
speaking of studs, one of the things that I've been seeing a lot of lately, and I don't put much stock in like people that,
and people in general.
Yeah, in general.
Let's just start with that.
People that are really highly touted, like athletic wise or career wise, or people are like talking all this shit. But that Victor Wembanyama, or however you fucking say his name, that dude is a savage.
I don't know who that is.
He's that phenom from France. He's a basketball player. He plays for the Spurs.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Yeah,
dude.
so that's what's funny with the Spurs is David Robinson,
The Admiral.
#1 draft pick.
Yep. The Admiral.
Took him a while to win a championship. He finally got it. Tim Duncan, #1 draft pick. This guy, #1. I just know his #1. Like, first of all, dude, like, what happened to the basketball putting on weights? Like, what's going on? The
He's
steroids.
the skinniest dude in the world.
The steroids leave the fucking gym out here or whatever. #1 draft pick, Spurs. They're gonna win another 5 championships, guaranteed.
Dude.
Well, I want to know why the fuck they're starting to reach out. Like, Giannis. Okay, sure. Now they're like, it used to be the European nations over there couldn't play ball. They can't dribble. They can't do shit.
So here's
However,
what I heard. Like with
what was
NBA.
what was sorry not to interrupt you. What was the fucking dark haired, short white guy? Rubio. Rubio was supposed to be the truth too.
Rubio.
And
But
then
look,
where's he at? Is he even in the league now?
Look at the Spurs. They won 5 fucking championships with multiple Hall of Famers from Europe. They had their point guard. What was his name? That little
Manu
French guy.
Ginobili.
Ginobili was not their point. He was a shooting guard, but who was the point guard?
Tony Parker.
Parker was from France. And
Manu Ginobili.
Kobe learned French, how to speak French, so he could talk shit in French to Tony Parker.
Dude, Kobe was the GOAT.
That guy. That's
Rest
how
in peace, baby.
That's how badass he was.
Kobe was the
Then Ginobili.
He would fuck you mentally and then fuck your wife.
Everybody thought Ginobili made the Euro step. Go watch Dominique Wilkins back in the day.
Yeah.
And they called him for traveling on the Euro step.
Dude, Dominique was the man.
They had that
bro.
shit. Like, don't think Europeans came over here and invented shit. This is our fucking game, just like baseball. Like, okay, you can say like you invented the upper 7 in soccer and all that type of shit. We'll give you that. But if we want to dedicate resources to soccer, we'll beat your ass in that too. So calm down. Okay. The problem,
Imagine LeBron playing soccer, fucking 6'8".
The problem that people have with
the
Europeans that come over is they don't play defense. They don't teach them defense.
Well, neither does fucking
And
anybody
that's what
in the
it's
goddamn U.S.
Like
anymore.
yoke it and joke it and hoke it and poke it and suck it and talk it and poke it and fork it and took it and hock it. Anybody that ends in ski and B and cockabookie geeky out here, they don't play defense. Like, all you gotta do is like you have to have this.
It's NBA. Nobody plays defense.
You just gotta have.
Where's Rodman?
You just gotta have.
Right.
They don't even have positions anymore. Like, whoa, where's he being drafted at? Like, do we draft a center? And the guy's like, "Oh, fuck's a center? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, your center is the shortest person on the fucking team now.
This Victor Wembanyama, to go back to him, dude. Like I was looking at that dude. He's already made over 100 3-pointers this year.
There's a cool statistic that you can look up right now.
Steph, look out.
Look at like points made in the 90s and 80s versus points made today.
Oh, it's
in
way
basketball.
different.
And what you'll see is like what they do is they take the arc and they have the key and all that shit, and you'll see like in the 90s and 80s, like 90% of the points are right there, right?
Oh, yes, they used to bang down
right
low.
there, like
that was
right
the whole
there,
point.
like 15 and in, right?
Right.
Everything is fucking now outside the perimeter,
Country
90%.
fucking mile out there.
There's nobody can make a 15-foot shot. There's nobody in the NBA that can make it from 15 feet. They know where they're at. They're like, I'm 15 feet out. I can't make this shit. They can make a free throw. They're 10 feet in. I can make that. Once they look at the free throw line and they're like, all right, I'm good. But if you look at like the arc now where they step in 3 feet from the arc, There's nobody making that
Well,
shot.
think about
Like, just play zone.
they made a
What the
fucking
fuck?
triangle offense, for a fucking reason.
Well, there's-
Nobody runs an offense
that's my
anymore.
point,
It's
like,
just get open and then it's a it's a shot.
That's why the guy number one, the big guy at Spurs, is doing so well, is because they're going back to old school shit. Like, give the guy down low the ball.
Dude,
Fuck yeah.
Let's go down low.
I've just been seeing nonstop stats from this guy.
Oh, he's already got 200 blocks.
This dude literally
200 blocks
I'm
before
looking
the
at this
season.
thing right here. He has more career blocks. He's a rookie than
Didn't-
86% of the NBA players in history.
Yeah, he beat out Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan had 200 career blocks as his freshman year. Mutombo had 200 blocks his freshman year. This guy's a freshman. He already has over 200 blocks. That's like 10 blocks a game. You know why? Because nobody shoots 15 and in. It's either outside perimeter or they're driving to
So
the
you're
lane.
saying this guy is playing D?
Oh, dude, is a stud.
He's a stud.
He
He's a
needs.
beast.
Oh, I thought you were saying he wasn't.
He
I was
needs to be rookie of the year, defensive player of the year.
The
Like
thing
this dude's
is,
a fucking
the
savage,
thing is
dude.
though, is like when he gets to the playoffs though, like, so here's the thing with seasonal. Seasonal is like, oh, we're having fun. It's a great game.
They won't make the playoffs.
When
I
you
don't think.
when
I
you
don't
get
think
to the
they're gonna-
playoffs and that dude's in there, you get a guy like Birdman and be like, I want you to fuck him up every time he gets the ball.
I don't think Birdman's in the league anymore.
You just get a guy like that. You get a guy
You
like
get a goon out there.
you get a goon basically and be like, that guy's $140, if that. If he shoots the ball on you and you're
Slap
260,
him, bro.
you don't get to work out ever again, kind of thing.
right.
How the fuck are you 260? And
Yeah,
this
they
guy?
don't do that anymore because now there's a court case and then, he talked bad to me in the game.
No, not when it comes to the playoffs.
This is
Playoffs
90s b-ball.
hardcore,
Woo, baby. Let's
kind
get
of
some.
thing. But like that's like I can't watch NBA anymore for that reason because again, like maybe they have a point. A lot of Europeans are coming over. There's no defense anymore. Like look at the All-Star game. It's almost 200 points. Nobody's
watched
playing D. But if you go watch
like the fucking
if you go
NFL,
watch
dude, nobody
the-
cares.
if you go watch the 98 All-Star game, like the best one ever with Jordan versus Kobe, because Kobe was like, I'm taking this guy. And like when it mattered, like I think baseball is the only All-Star game that matters because it gives-
Negative, dude. They've now
Baseball-
made it in the last couple.
baseball gives you home if you win as the AL All-Star, you get home field advantage
Yeah,
in the World Series. It doesn't matter if you based off your win.
Yeah,
loss.
but from like early 2000s to like mid 2000s, it fell off its way. Like they didn't care. It became the same thing, and they started putting more weight on it. Like, no, you guys need to play.
They
But
care,
they
but they
restructured what the
care, but
games
they
were.
don't allow pitchers to go past. They don't allow starting pitchers to go past 3 innings.
Well, and you can't hit the catcher.
Nobody hits the catcher. How many
Everybody
fucking
hits the
games have
catcher.
you watched where somebody hits the catcher? The last catcher I saw got
Well,
hit
'cause it's only
was
when it
Buster
matters.
Posey, and his cleat got cut, and he broke his fucking femur, and the guy still wanted to come out and play. Like nobody's hitting the catcher out here.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
The guy's full padded. Why would you hit him?
Oh, you can knock some
he's
songs.
on
I wouldn't even. If
can knock some
if I
songs.
saw a guy rounding third, I wouldn't even care if someone was throwing it into me and be like, "All right, you want to come on? Let's go." Boom. All I gotta do is pick up the ball after I lay your
See,
fucking ass out.
You know what this is right now?
What?
This conversation
Not
right now?
playing baseball ever?
Yep, this is the conversation that we had before you started jits. This is exactly the line you're going down right now. Because I can tell you, which I've told you on other podcasts,
about baseball though.
we changed the rules in PF about hitting catchers because
Yeah, you did.
Well, it
That's
was-
because that one kid got hit and got laid out.
and
Like,
then
Tim
I
explained the whole
hit
story.
their catcher.
Yeah, that explained the whole story.
I hit him. I didn't know. We didn't have cell phones back then. Besides
Yeah,
this guy.
Okay, I can imagine that if you're growing up in high school and
You hit the catcher.
Your brain
he
still.
stands in line. You fucking decleat that motherfucker.
Your brain's still developing. You could be like trying to get through calculus 3 kind of thing. But when you're
Negative.
when you're a professional,
You got to score.
What
When you-
nerd took Calc 3?
when you're a professional ball player and your job is
Where's the camera?
your job is to protect that plate. I didn't take calc 3. You fucking protect that plate. You're gonna get laid out. That's your job.
Yeah.
But nobody.
And he did.
But the thing is like don't lay me out. Like turn around.
Just get out of the fucking way. If that's how you feel. Just get out of the way. Just
On-
a
on-
little shimmy.
On sports, and I'm glad you're on here. Like I heard a little trivia question. I can't think I can remember the name.
Well, then you didn't hear it right.
What was the Chicago team before it was the Bears? Do you remember?
We already talked about this. We had a whole game about it.
They had 2 different team names.
Did we?
Before they were the Bears.
I don't remember
We'll
that.
play a
were-
sports game with
They
Tim.
were the Chicago Dectars and the Chicago Cardinals.
I remember the That's right, the Cardinals.
Cardinals and the Dectars.
So what happened there? Like, where'd the Cardinals go? Like, did Arizona buy it?
No, yeah, they just changed names.
And why the Cardinals? Is like it's the state bird or some shit? And
No, I'm not
Snowbird.
I'm not really sure why they were that, but yeah, the Cardinals and the Dectars were their two teams before they were the Bears.
that's weird.
Yeah, that was an audio podcast. You remember that shit? That was the old setup. I had the whole game set up about sports. That's what
Like back in the day.
That's why I made that jingle, the sports game. Remember? Play ball. It went off into it.
Oh, is that where you?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you brought that up?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I just remembered.
Speaking of though of snow, I had a question for you guys. Just because we kind of live in all seasons around these parts, if you guys had a choice to choose to live somewhere, would it be on the beach or in the snowy hills? That was a
So
long pause.
on the beach or
in the snowy hills, yeah. I'm talking like
Tropical Island Beach all fucking day, bro.
Perfect.
Loved it.
well,
Loved
if it wasn't so expensive,
no. This isn't a money question.
I
This is
told
like-
my wife I would love to retire on Cannon Beach.
All right,
I
so
feel
we're
like,
all talking beach here.
no, Cannon Beach is different. If
Why?
you've ever been there, because it's freezing.
What?
It's in Portland, Cannon Beach.
That's not a fucking. That's a shit. God damn, dude. Pick a fucking beach.
Cannon Beach is where I
All right,
want to
so
retire.
you want to retire in a cold beach.
Yes, exactly.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, no.
There's no snow and you're cold all the time. What's the point? Riddle me this, Batman.
I think the cold. I think the cold humbles you, and there's a lot of stuff that's built to escape from the cold than it is versus the heat. You know,
I know my nuts
how do
explode
you
when they're in the heat.
how do you escape
so-
from the heat? You just go down in your swim trunks, jump in the ocean, and turn the AC on. But like the cold reminds you, like, you know, that you're still alive, and it gives you a sense.
How many bikinis do you see in that Cannon Beach?
Zero, but that's not
Yeah,
the point. Like,
that is
I
a
don't- I
point.
don't give a
What,
fuck
what
about
the
that.
fuck? Why choose to be miserable? Might as well get something out of it.
You're not being miserable though. It's like the right climate. It's like the perfect climate. Like it's a perfect climate in the summer where you can wear a sweatshirt during summer and walk down to the beach if you want. Where like if you retire on the beach, not to like if you know like shit on you guys. If you want to retire on the beach, great for you. Like fine. But you can't. You're never gonna wear like a fucking. You're gonna have a different lifestyle. And like when you live in that lifestyle, like you were in Texas for training and shit. It was probably miserable with the fucking heat and all that shit.
I was there at a
Would
time.
you rather train in Alaska or Texas? Like I don't know.
I wasn't there in a time when it was too bad, but it really depends. I got used to the humidity because I lived in it for so long. So
Humidity's horrible.
it is horrible, but it's also not horrible because you sweat out like a motherfucker. So you lose weight really easily and you can keep pretty trim. It's not that bad. So
Yeah, but we've all been to Cannon Beach, right? I would say
that's a shithole. Why would I want to go that far?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let's
Like in Oregon?
let's
This guy just wants to be miserable.
Yeah,
You're
all
talking
his
about
life.
Oregon?
yeah, the
Oh
Cannon
yeah,
Beach.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's cool, but if I'm
It's
living
not
on
a beach, baby. I want to see bikinis.
if I'm
I
living
wanna
on a
see
beach,
tits.
I want it to be tropical.
No, he was talking weather-wise. Like though, I just happened to say
You just picked the worst
I
beach
just
ever.
I already know where I want to retire, and it's there. Like, despite it being Oregon, sadly, it has to be in Oregon. It's fine. I feel like that's the perfect climate ever.
Well, but that's the thing though. Is
Why?
like
It's cold and drizzly. What's good about that
that's
weather?
exactly what I just said.
What's great about that weather? That's like awful.
It's the worst. It's like the mixture of both, and you can't enjoy anything.
yeah, it sucks. It's cold.
Because it keeps you going. Like as you
Keeps
get,
you miserable. You want to be
as,
inside.
as you
just
get
a fucking
okay.
blanket.
So Bill Nemo, on the podcast,
That was his
definitely
name.
he wants to come back on. Should get him back on here. He's got a lot of free time.
Only if he loses the
Shoulda
other
asked him
arm.
to come on. He's a PT guy, and
Pussy trainer.
yeah, basically what he said is like that phrase or that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is 100% true, especially when you get older. And I feel like a climate like that will keep you motivated to
Yeah, but why aren't you going to retire and be miserable?
What would it inspire you to do? Because for me, if I'm in that weather, it inspires me to sit my ass in the house and do nothing.
Can't go in the water. So what's the point of being on the beach?
Depends on the house. Like the water, you're gonna smell the ocean every day. You're gonna see the ocean every day.
Dude, that's like sitting there looking at a pussy and go, I can smell it. I can't
touch it.
I can't be in it. It's too cold.
When the sun finally comes out and it rewards you to the point that you can go out there and enjoy it, you're gonna be able to go out there and walk out and enjoy it. Whereas like it trains you not to get accustomed to shit. It like this weather here.
Our weather here sucks.
Tomorrow it could snow. We don't know. We're not trained for it. Like,
and you shouldn't be accustomed to it because
when you go to it's the same. Like if you go to a tropic beach and you're used to the same 90-degree weather every day, you get accustomed to that. Like why exist kind of thing. Like
it's awesome. There was always stuff to do. Like I lived on a tropical island, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, I had a more fulfilling life because I was always busy. There was always something to do, whether it was running through the jungle, playing Frisbee on the beach, cleanups, like nonstop activities because the weather was right all the time. And then it was like, oh my God, this is great. It's pouring down rain and storming and it's 75 degrees. This is awesome. So it was fantastic. Like that was rewarding life because you could always do something because you weren't cold, you weren't miserable. It was fantastic.
I mean, that's fair. That's a good argument, not gonna lie. But it's like it's not always cold there at that beach. Like so, I don't know. That's the beach. I think that's just where I want to go. That's where I would retire.
So deep down low, you're just a soulless, miserable piece of shit.
It's not soulless. It's just the point of just. I don't know. It's just something about.
I mean, different strokes. You know, nothing wrong with it. If that's his beach that he wants, and that's where he wants.
Well,
it,
and Eric and I are on a tropical island. We'll call you over. You want to come hang out with us?
That's fair.
We got things to do.
That's fair.
We got things to get after, buddy. We got things to get to, son.
I mean,
Tell you what, if we're both going to tropical islands, you're gonna have to come with us because I'm not podcasting over Zoom.
That's fair.
So you're gonna have to come with us. I'm sorry. You have to get that pasty ass little skin, little tan. And we'll call it good.
Bring some snow with me or whatever.
Whatever.
You guys
Ship
ever
it
see
in.
snow on the beach?
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is like I have family that's in Florida, and like when we go and visit them, it's 60, 50 degrees out, and they are in sweatshirts and sweats because they say it's fucking cold. And I'm out there in shorts. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not cold. But they're used to it being 75, 80.
No.
And it's like this is where it needs to be. So when it drops that little bit. These guys are like, I don't want to go outside. It's too cold. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's just old
dude,
people.
No, I'm not talking old people.
I live with two old people.
I'm not talking old people. I'm talking younger than me.
Oh, it's just because they're not conditioned to it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was 50, 60 degrees out and the sun's out, like today, like 60 degrees outside.
I had shorts and a t-shirt on all day.
So I had my shirt off for half the morning.
God, your poor neighbors. They probably fucking.
Oh, they're looking at my.
I saw you marked me. I had to do a double take. It's like this guy.
Fuck yeah,
Then he jerked off.
I did.
Fucking
in the
jerk off
closet
on the toilet right now.
Not in the toilet.
I was jerking off to your Marco. I was like,
I would have. I mean, it's cute.
Is he red like a lobster? Like,
yeah, I'm done.
Wait a minute. What did Sebastian do to Ariel that we don't know?
Yeah. That's where the first clip person came from. Clip. Is that a crab? Nope, it's decorative.
This lobster tastes like Ariel. What the fuck? How do you know?
You boys.
I tasted her.
What else you got? Should we talk about? Oh, sorry. Let me bring it back before I was getting really preemptive here.
Bring it back full circle. Here we go.
You want to tell us about your week?
My week?
Yeah.
Which part?
You never even told us about the week.
Oh, like how I took over? All right.
And you told me you didn't even finish the stories about the week.
After an hour and 20 minutes, we hadn't even made it through.
This week.
No, I'm talking 2 weeks ago, son.
Well, I can't finish that week's come and gone, kind of thing.
He doesn't remember.
I don't remember what I was supposed to talk about that week, but I do have stuff this week.
All right, let's go.
All right. So I got my first loss as a coach this week ever in my life in
So
soccer.
your 0-1 career record.
Wife shot him down.
Yeah, 100%. So I've been coaching youth soccer out here, running that shit, and I thought it was gonna be like whatever. We'll see what happens here. It's not gonna be. It's just gonna be like kind of like a babysit routine or whatever. But at this age, like this is a fun age to coach at, and I can see like where coaching comes in, where it's like where like this is the year like if. This year is the year that's like I'm either gonna continue.
It makes or breaks it.
I'm either gonna continue soccer or I'm like this is dumb. Like that, like you know, you're 6, 7.
I heard you relate to your first coaching experience.
I wasn't. No. I was never late, bro.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
I got fucking boots on the ground that say otherwise.
You sure about that, bro? Nah, like
I heard someone came to the door and was like, "Hey, man, like they're looking for the coach over here. Like, just let you know they're a little upset because you're a little late."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're lying to me out gate.
I had to pick up off the beach.
Yeah, see, you were late, you motherfucker. This is the year that makes or breaks.
I was like, well, the thing is too,
They're
is like
smoking down beers in the car.
Going to practice, the first practice, I was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I was like, we're just going to scrimmage the whole fucking time. 100%. I didn't even know what
drills. Fuck drills.
I didn't even know what I got. And then when I get there, I'm like, fuck. I kind of know what I got. You know, you see him come in, you see what's going on. It's like, God damn it.
Like I got a
nobody
crew full of short busters
like,
here.
I was like, this is why they start kids off in soccer first, is because it's easier than the other sports, you know, compared to like basketball where you have to dribble, baseball where it's like you have to hit a fucking thing flying at you. It's like this is you just play with your feet and who cares if your hands hit it kind of thing. It's like, all right, well, fuck.
That's called a handball. It's illegal.
So I'm still dealing with that. So the wife was supposed to be my assistant coach, but she's like, nah, they don't have enough people to teach Micah's grade, the 3-year-old. So she bailed on me and went to the 3-year-old. So like it's just me and coaching these 6-year-olds. And I was like, all right, well, you know, I need to know, like, based off FIFA, this is how you should play. This is how I win. This is how you should win, kind of thing. So when I get there, it's like, I expect you to be this good, and they're not that good. So it's like,
There's 6.
What are you running? Are you running a 4-4-2, 3-4-3? Like what kind of formation?
He
are you
doesn't
running
fucking
here?
know.
I was
Are you a tactical wizard out here, Belichick? Or what are you doing?
I was gonna run the 4-4-2 to start, but now that they played their first game and lost, they might.
Fucking Ted over you.
I'm gonna be like, it doesn't feel good losing, right? Like, did you hear the other team?
Call me coach.
And by the way, you could also run
so-
a 5-2-2. That's, I mean,
mine would be a 4-2-1-2-1 kind of thing. That's my formation.
Oh, Argentina style, huh?
That's how I run it in FIFA. But because the way I do it is like we have a couple ballers. Like my son's one of them that plays defense, but he can boot it from one end of the field to the other if you give him enough time and spacing. So, but I have to teach the other kids that like to play offense that like you have to sit here. And so when we go back to next practice, it's like, all right, you're gonna stay in this zone. This is your zone. Until the ball comes here, you do not get to move at all. You cannot move out of your cones until you have the ball. You guys get to stay here. So we're teaching spacing and all this stuff because the one thing I'm afraid of is my reaction to parents. That's my biggest fear as coaching is parent reaction. Because
why? Choke them out.
Because of people that we know, MJ, there's been a lot of people that have come up to said person when they were 4 and 3 that were like, she's not teaching my kid anything about soccer and I want off this team. I don't want to be anything a part of it.
That's not on him.
Not on him at all, but I'm just giving you a reference to who I'm talking about.
I already know.
So it's like, I don't want that to be me. And the first
sold you under the bus,
but the thing is, it's like when you, when I was walking to the pumpkin patch and you yelled at me to get out of the road, I didn't know who you were. I was like, who the fuck is yelling at me right now? Like, do you realize I just had to drive to a fucking pumpkin patch and you get to drive down this fucking road or whatever? It was like, I was like, oh, it's Eric. And I was like, I was about to flip you off. I was like, oh, it's not. Okay. He's like, I got a 1 stripe, bitch. Come at me. I don't give a fuck who you are right now. But
Zebra belt out
But
here.
that's the thing is like, I was like, I want to make sure I give all the kids their playing time and all their fun and whatever. And it's like, but now that I can rub the loss in their face, it's like, all right, no, all right. So here we go. Like losing sucks, right?
You shit on the floor, you piece of shit.
Because I had to go out there and tell the other team to be like, hey, calm down, bro. It doesn't matter what the score is, because they're like, it's 2-1. It's 2-1, and it's a girl saying it. And Zane was about ready to go off on this fucking chick. I was like, holy shit. I was gonna be like, go get her, wrap her up.
Either slide tackling at
What's the
6.
score now, huh? kind of thing. Kind of thing is like, yeah. So I got fired up too as a coach. I was like, holy shit, I don't know how they do it, but
It's pretty easy.
but the thing is like, I was
We
like,
start making this a segment. Oh, a short life in Joe's week.
but I was like, ah, man, this is fun. I really wanted to win. I was like, navigating, putting the best players in. My son Mason kept fucking doing slide tackles and shit, so I pulled his ass out and I talked to him about like, stop slide tackling. I need you to.
How does he even know how to slide
and
tackle?
This and this, because he plays. So the one kid on there
Again, video games.
So
teaching teaching the youth across the nation.
He plays at school with the 1st and 2nd graders, and the one kid on their team was a 1st grader that was a friend of his, and this kid almost scored from past half. That's how good he was. He was fucking juking and jiving.
I don't think that's how good he was. I think it's how bad your defense was.
This kid was just like, you just can tell like when they can dribble and they know how to get to open and they play a certain position because they realize like it's eventually going to come here anyway, because the kids just ball up and it pops out and like I'll just dribble around and score. He made an upper 7 goal from like 20 feet out. Like I was like, holy fuck.
Have you ever done an upper decker?
I was like, holy shit.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
So an upper
When you
7
shit
is
in the upper toilet like that.
so like
I think my upper 7.
so
Upper
like,
deck, yeah.
So, like-
I do that all the time.
so the goal
He
is
should
like
probably check his
the
toilet
goal-
before he leaves.
The goal is a rectangle, right? If you hit it in the right rectangle, it makes a 7, upper 7. If you hit it in the left rectangle, it's a V, upper V.
Rectangle?
Rectangle. So this dude, this kid cleared it from like with 2 guys on him. It was like, I was like, there's no way he's making that.
He crapped his pants?
He tied it up. I was like, holy shit, we're gonna lose this game for sure, kind of thing. But the kids ended up holding them. Like they did great, and I was like, they were listening, and I was like, compared to first practice, I was like, holy shit. I was like,
Here's my advice to you.
This is gonna be a fucking
as
marathon.
As a rookie coach for little kids, because I coached that soccer age for my kid when she played. You can run about. Your drills need to be 6 minutes long or less, and you need to run like nonstop, like do different things and like passing trees, runs, things like that. But 6 minutes, that's about all you can do with those little squirrel brains, because 6-year-old soccer is the worst because you'll have kids that like literally see their mom and run off to get a snack, and then it's like, holy shit, dude.
That's the thing too. So it's like they got to listening to me. That's the other thing. Is like I was like my voice is God. There's me, God, then your parents when it comes to the fucking soccer field kind of thing. And so it's hard. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna get you in. When I tell you to go and they're already running, I'm like, not yet, get back here, kind of thing. And like I'm just yelling at these kids, and my wife's like, calm down, you can't yell at them. I was like, well, get the fuck.
Your dad's in the corner just clapping like,
yeah. But like the kids I thought were gonna be worse at practice ended up being the best in the game. Like, where the fuck is this at practice? Like, I don't want to practice.
It's Allen Iverson effect, bro.
All right, bro, we are gonna practice.
you got the 76s on right now? Let's see those bad
But
boys.
They are who we thought they were.
So I run a little scrimmage first game, and I was like, all right, we're still playing this fucking kiddie pool type shit soccer game. It's like, this is not how you play soccer. We have to find open spaces, get away from each other, and then attack.
Sharks and minnows, bro.
And I'm doing that, and they're bored off their ass. I'm like teaching them drill. I'm drilling the shit. I'm like, I'm fucking like
Crabs and penicillin.
I'm like Major Pain, and killing is good. And business.
One,
damn it.
2,
damn it, go get my knife.
The little engine that
And
could.
then my wife comes up out of nowhere and is like, have you guys played a game yet? Are you going to introduce and have them know their names? And I'm like, I just want to be like, get the fuck out of my practice.
I would. I'd blow the whistle on her ass.
But nope.
Red flag, bitch. Get out of here.
Brought it all together. But the thing is, like, that I explained to her after that practice is, like, I was like, you don't realize that, like, if a parent comes up to me and is like, you don't know how to teach my kids soccer, I might strangle that parent.
That's fair.
I'm not MJ's said whatever out here that gets told, like, I need to remove my team. It's like, no. I have like, this is a spot, like, you're 6. After this is like, are we going to play
Olympics?
Are we going to play soccer after this? Because I'm getting you ready for the shit.
Passing out juice to them.
If you want to go play sports after this, you have to be ready. Like, if you don't want to play soccer and you just want to be like,
or they're shooting them up with a fucking vial little juice.
You're going to be sitting with me over on the side while the other ones want to play, and we don't know which kids want to go. Because what I saw today is there are kids out there that are already fucking past 6, and they could whoop our ass. Like, if the 3 of us went against that kid today, he'd be like,
oh no, I'd check him.
Yeah. And that's what Nick's kid that's what Nick's kid was doing. I was like, and I called him over. I had to call him out and be like, hey. And it's like, hey,
get this loser off my field.
I was like, no.
See number 12.
I was like, hey, I know you're getting frustrated. I know you like to win and you get after it, but, like, you can't just tackle people. It's not football. But I love it. It is football. Keep it up until they call football. Keep it up. But I have a plan for them. So now it's like, now I can bring you the realization, like, look, you know, like, you guys had a good game, but we lost. Right. And here's why.
Losers.
Okay. And here's what's going to happen now. Like, we're going to have you 2 stand out here, and we're going to have you guys go here, and, like, you're going to clear the ball out to here, and we'll see how it goes. Like, and we'll play soccer. Like, this is how you play soccer. Keep the ball away.
Well, once you want to teach them an American sport, you let us know. We'll come over there and help you with that thing. With that being said, boys, you got anything else?
No, I had some political shit, but we'll save that. It's just, you know,
save it.
We'll
go hot and heavy.
No politicking this week. We had a good nerd sesh and then a little sports sesh. So we'll keep the politicking.
Get the polities out of this be-all.
No politics for this time.
That's fair.
Joey?
I got nothing.
You said everything? You said everything you could? Good week, huh?
I mean, I had a great week.
Yeah.
I had a great week.
I like how you explained to us last week about your shitty week, and then the good week, it's like, 5 minutes.
5 seconds,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, we're good.
5 seconds.
We're
The
good.
shitty week
I
takes
got
an
nothing
hour.
else after that.
You have a good week?
I mean, I don't know. We've never even talked about Eric and I because it's always about you. So, fair enough.
Maybe we should change the podcast name out here. Joe's Shot Tears Podcast. Oh, I like that.
Do you?
It'll fit, right?
Yeah.
Joe's
Shot Tears. I already fucking branded that bitch.
That's great. That was me.
That was me, motherfucker. You were saying
Roll the
shotties.
tape.
Shotties. All right.
Play that shit.
Handles, go.
Handles, go. Oh, we didn't make it up? All right. Handles. All right. I appreciate the comments on the YouTube videos. Keep them up. Some of us out here are paying fucking
Train keeps on rolling down the tracks.
Take me home.
Jesus Christ.
Country roads.
Kurt Cobain. Calm down.
I'm just going to shout out to our comment guy.
You might go on there and comment tonight.
I'm going to have to now.
Yeah, you're going to. 3 Shots Podcast on YouTube. Definitely got a lot of videos. That's where you can mainly find us. Comment, responding every now and then. 3 Shots Podcast 20 at gmail.com. Respond to that more. We're not really too much on the old X-Files out there with Twitter because it's just a bunch of fucking skanks sending their nudes and shit. And
but that's where you'll find me.
Who knows?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Who needs that drama in their life? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But if you need to find us, we're 3 Shots PC. Then Instagram, that's where a lot of our shorts and videos and pictures go up. There's 3 Shots Podcast on Instagram. Find us there for sure. That's probably the most trusted social media you can find us on besides our Gmail.
Right.
Other than that, YouTube, keep the comments coming. We'll respond. We're out there.
Might be throwing some of our shorts up here shortly on the Chinese government app.
On the TikTok.
So we'll see what happens with that. Wait, I think it's a good idea.
Our government banned it, so we'll see.
And we still use it. Yeah. Like sharing passwords out here for Amazon and Netflix. Everybody still does it.
We're all in bed with each other. We'll figure it out.
Well, I'm not in bed with you. Just your wife.
One of us, spoiler alert.
Spoilers, or with you. Fuck it. Take your tooth out. Let's get it.
Spoiler alert. One of us on this podcast might be running for governor, so.
Oh.
We'll figure that out.
So you don't want to bring that up from the last week, but you want to talk about soccer.
I didn't
say it for next week.
I didn't say it was me.
Hey, we'll go governor. We'll go politics.
I didn't say it was me.
Well, it ain't me.
I said someone on this podcast.
And I know it's not
Could
Eric.
be the stick man. You don't know that.
Well, how if he didn't tell us?
It could be
you know it. This is called observation. Hopefully you don't run for governor. We're going to get fucking smoked out of that seat instantly. First time some big scandal comes up, like, I don't know, it wasn't me. I mean, I didn't tell anybody. Then everyone in your cabinet's like, well, you did just tell us that. You just told us that like yesterday.
All right, so this said person ran for governor. We'll have him on or her on, and that they try to win our vote. Maybe we'll vote for him. We'll see.
The old man come out of retirement?
I don't know.
Nailed it. All right. Anyways, peeps, we'll see you next week. Roll the tape, baby. And you know what to do. Find us. Check us out. Deuces. Speaking of deuces, I take a deuce.
You'll take pee-pee?
Say what? What?